Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to learn a new app called Trading Cards. Once you access the app, you're going to get a screen like this. You can create a new user account for each student that will use that given iPad, or if you're fortunate to have one-to-one, you can create just one like that. You'll see my user here is Danielle, so I'm going to go ahead and select the user, and you can see the stories that Danielle has created. Once you're in, you're going to go ahead and create a new card. Today we are going to choose fictional person, but you can see you have different options: real person, fictional place, real place, object, event, and vocabulary. I'm going to go ahead and select fictional person since my class is currently creating their own characters. Yesterday in class we created a character and my students named this character Goosey Boosey. So we're going to go ahead and just go with that. So Goosey Boosey. And it will prompt you to the next screen. There is a front and a back. So to get to the back, you just hit the flip arrow in the middle at the bottom, just like that, and you can see the information that you're going to have to add. Each box, as you tap it, will give you a guiding question. So for this one, it's where did you read about or see Goosey Boosey, or what inspired you to create this character. So then your students could type in exactly right there what they want. The next one is the setting. When and where does Goosey Boosey live? So it's starting to do those elements of story, and they can type that in as well. Appearance and personality. This is great to get students to use adjectives to help describe things and to help expand their vocabulary. And some interesting details. Name one detail about Goosey Boosey that you think is interesting and significant, and why. So my students said that this was a goose and also a bossy pirate. Imagination is what we're learning about, so you can imagine the types of answers you are getting. So, interesting details is a goose and is also a pirate. I'm ready to go ahead to the back. You can flip it, and it has you go through and develop a story element as well. So what is Goosey Boosey's main problem or challenge? In our story in class, his problem was that he couldn't find enough shells on the beach. So the student could type in that Goosey Boosey couldn't find enough shells on the beach to share with his other pirate friends. The outcome would then therefore be the solution, or what happened as a result of the problem. He ended up pushing some of the pirates off the plank so that he had enough shells to share. Imaginative writing again. Quote, what memorable thing does Goosey Boosey say? In our class he said, "To the plank!" So you could type in "to the plank" with quotation marks and so forth like that. Action here is, what is one specific thing that Goosey Boosey does that really stands out for you, and why? Students can choose what things that they do. They thought that it was fun that Goosey Boosey liked to dance around on one of his feet since he was a goose. And he had a peg leg like a pirate, so he would just dance around on his goose foot. And personal connection would be an impression. What do you think or what do you dislike about Goosey Boosey, and why? Personally, I disliked that he was mean to the other pirates, but it's obviously what your students would want to choose. And then any connections. Connections to your personal life, connections to what you're learning in class. It's pretty much a great app for building the story elements and so forth. When you're finished, you can choose to add a photo. So you can select from your photos at the top. You can take a photo. I obviously don't have a picture of Goosey Boosey because we haven't created one yet, but what you could have your students do is draw it and then take a picture of their fictional character that they have created and add that right into it. I'm going to go ahead and go back to where we were. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show that you can change the slide designs. So at the bottom, if you pull this little arrow up, you can see that you can change the color and the layout. It doesn't change any of the wording or anything, but it allows for some personal touches to be added. Okay? And then you're done. So you can keep it or you can share it. If you share it, you hit share it, and you're going to get options how to share it: save to photos, send as email, send to printer, my cards. In our classroom, we save to photos because it allows them to upload it to their personal blogs such as Seesaw and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and go to my cards to show you one that was finished that a student did last year about Thomas Edison. So you can see all the details in there. If I flip it, apparently this child didn't finish. It goes through and you can see that you need to add to it, so forth. But that's what it looks like once you've got it all added in. And that's trading cards in a nutshell.